Hi, my name is Roland, and in today's video we are talking about data. So a few months ago I have built my upgrade to the Powerwall, and all the solar systems have been finished anyway already almost a year ago. It's a good time to speak about how does all the system perform. So we can also look at the last year's data and then how everything changed now the last 2 months, which are now fully locked since the Powerwall was finished. We can always build something, but at the end data and statistics is the proof how well something works. Everyone who is a little bit new to the channel, just a short overview. What is our property here? Our property is a resort. We are a Thai resort with a simplified taxation system, and that means we can only have a maximum of 9 guest rooms, and I think the maximum living area, living space of the buildings can be somewhere around 300 square meters, 3,000 square feet. Right, so there are 10 buildings here on our property, which is around 2 acres. There's also, additionally to 7 guest rooms, there is also a coffee shop, another shop which is not in use at the moment, but a laundry, and our main building with kitchen and office, etc. Our monthly bill, electricity bill here is in average 100 to 120 US dollars. The reason why this is so low, I think, is because we have built all the buildings according to low energy, high efficiency standard, and we have our own solar PV system here, which is overall a 19 kilowatt peak system, and extra to this we have a total battery capacity in my 2 battery systems of around 25 kilowatt hours usable. So one battery system is an off-grid system and the other one is a AC coupled, as you already probably know. And before we dig into the data, I want to talk 1 minute about my off-grid system's battery. About 1 year ago I have uploaded a video about my LiPo battery, lithium polymer. That battery I have ordered around 4.5 years directly in China from a manufacturer at that time. So lithium polymer pouch cells are built into that pack. So if you're interested about that pack, please watch the video about it. At that time I have tried to make a capacity test, and I have also estimated a cycle life on that battery pack. And my estimation at that time was a rough calculation about what I thought the weather conditions here are and how many times that battery was fully charged and discharged theoretically. And after that video I have then started my project about the battery monitor, and when the battery monitor for that pack was done, I have actually logged now cycles with the battery monitor, right? So the battery monitor uses the estimated battery capacity, which we can also measure by the battery monitor, and is using that battery capacity every time when it is charging as many kilowatt hours into the pack as the estimated battery capacity is, then it is counting 1 full cycle. And this was now 10 months ago, so 10 months of counting cycles, and the number which came out of that actually monitoring now and counting was 220 cycles. So there was now all seasons there, dry seasons, rainy seasons, winter. So we can really say that instead of the 15 cycles which I have calculated just roughly for the 3 years before, that it actually had been 22 cycles a month which went into that battery. So for the 3 years I have calculated 550, which I have uploaded on the battery monitor as a starting point, but that number needs to be corrected because now we know what is actually really going on here. So by recalculating for the last 46 months of daily cycling of that battery pack, the total number, now the counter stands at 811, will be corrected to 1012 cycles. So that's a very likely number which is now on that battery pack. But that is actually something really amazing, because if you watch the other video, you will hear me saying that when I got that pack, the manufacturer gave me a sort of warranty, right? And the warranty was that the state of health of that pack will be 80% lowest after 500 cycles. My latest check, capacity test on the pack was 8,300 watt hours. So that would represent a 83% state of health after 1012 cycles. We did not even reach the 80% state of health with double as many cycles as the warranty was covering. And that's amazing. This is lithium polymer chemistry. That's the standard chemistry which is in cell phones, in laptops, etc. And yeah, getting so many more cycles out of it is really, really incredible. We are going now into the power room and we will upload the new cycles into the battery monitor, and then it can continue from that new count. And after that we're going to my computer and we are looking into the latest data now, which is now after the whole solar system, including all batteries, are more or less finished. So here's the LiPo battery, 4 years in service and still 83% state of health. 811 is the number which is stored there in the memory, and I'm going to flash the EEPROM chip on that microcontroller now to 1012. Okay, hit the upload. Okay, it's done. And our new cycles are 1012. Yeah, this was all what we had to do here. The inverter is ramping up the fans. 3 kilowatts are going into the system, off-grid system at the moment. Yeah, let's go now to the office and we take a look into the computer. So see what the data is telling about all of our PV and battery systems here. Right, so let's look at last year. So the total year 2021, our resort have used 30 megawatt hours of electricity, so 30,000 kilowatt hours. And in the same time we have generated 24 megawatt hours, so 24,000 kilowatt hours have been produced. And because most of our systems are grid tied, we can of course not use all of the energy, and that energy which is exported, from that one we don't have anything, so we don't get anything by the utility here. So the only thing what helps us is capture energy which otherwise would go out and store it in the batteries to use it in a later time of the day during the night. So from the 24 megawatt hours we have consumed right away 16.5 megawatt hours, so 70% in average last year. That was before the Powerwall upgrade was captured and directly used behind the meters right away, and that gave us solar power inside our energy mix is 55%. The battery, the AC coupled Powerwall, has last year captured 4000 kilowatt hours, so that was around 290 kilowatt hours, which have then been pushed back during the night time into our system. How did those numbers now change after the upgrade of the AC coupled Powerwall? So here I have now from January until March and all these other readings from April on going to December. This is just last year's data which I'm overwriting. So only the first three columns are interesting for us. I did not do this video in February because February was an exceptionally wet month, completely against other years. So normally this would be dry season and we had about 10 rainy days in February. But now the last reading in March, we have generated 2100 kilowatt hours in March. That is an average of 70 kilowatt hours per day. And this has saved us 7,300 Thai baht. That's around 250 US dollars, which we did not spend on utility. We have generated 2,100 and we have used 2,650 kilowatt hours that month. Last month we have imported around 1,000 kilowatt hours from the utility, so this will cost around 4,000 baht or $120 this month as a utility bill, and exported 450. So we still, even with the batteries, we still now exporting around 450 kilowatt hours every month. Before it was somewhere between 600 and 700 before the upgrade of the Powerwall. So the on-site self-consumption right away was 1,650. So that is now 80% from our generation. Right, so you see, after the Powerwall upgrade, before last year, as an average, all of the year was 69%, and now after the upgrade it was already 75.8 here, 74, 79 here almost. And also now the ratio of solar energy in our energy mix also went up from maybe somewhere around 55% to already here you can see 66, 63 in March. The AC coupled Powerwall has captured 507 kilowatt hours in March, so that went up also. Before it was around 350 and now it's above 500 typically. And because of the cycle efficiency of the system, around 431 kilowatt hours that month. Yeah, so there you have it. About 2/3 of our energy which we are using here in the resort is coming from our own systems, is free for us. We don't need to pay it to the local utility here, and which is great. I hope you found it interesting. This is it for today. So please comment, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I see you next time.